I want to talk about verifying identities. So this is really similar to what we've been doing with simplifying, with a little bit of a difference in terms of what you're given. So if you look at the first question. So first of all, let me just define what I mean by verify. When I'm saying verify, what I mean really is to prove true. Right, and I can go ahead and tell you that all of these are definitely true. There's nothing in here that is a trick that, oh, by the way, this is not really going to work out. You just spent, an hour of your life for nothing. I'm going to kind of go through number one with you. Essentially this, there are a few rules we have to follow. Number one, you will have two sides of an equation, right? Left and the right sides of an equations. You can see each one of these has an equal sign, right? And so you can choose either side to work on, and that's total fair game. You can pick either side. It is easier to start with a more complicated side like this side and simplify it versus taking something very simple and trying to make it complicated. That requires a lot more creativity, and that's just, and not to mention, I don't have to do that. And so whichever side you decide to work on, once we choose a side, you must stay on that side. You can't add things to the other side, subtract, and you can't go back and forth. I'm going to stay on one side and simplify that until I get the side that I've chosen to work with to turn into the other side. So the benefit of this is that I know where I'm going. I know exactly what's going to happen at the end. So this is kind of a benefit, a little bit better than last time, because last time we had just the one side and said, hey, simplify it. A lot of the times you didn't really know if you were finished or not. Well, in this case, I kind of know where I'm going. So let me just kind of give you a run through on number one. Here, I'm obviously going to choose to work with the left side of the equation. And I'm going to rearrange this a little bit. And I'm going to say that I'm going to rewrite it like this. Cotangent, 1 over cotangent times secant squared x minus tangent cubed x equals, of course, tangent x on the other side. I realized that 1 over cotangent, this fraction right here, is the same thing as tangent if I look at my reciprocal identities. And so we can say that this is tangent x times secant squared x minus tangent squared or cubed x. Now I realize, and this is one of the most useful tips when I'm verifying, I am constantly thinking that I have to get this to be one term, right? I've got to get all of this to become that. So I've got two terms here where I'm going to have some things cancel out, or I'm going to have to get these two different pieces together. You end up with one actual piece here. So I'm keeping in mind my destination. And so I think here, well, here's tangent I've got here, and I need to just leave the tangent by itself. So I have two terms. I want to try to factor something out, and I realize that this has a factor of tangent, and this has also a factor of tangent. That's three of them, actually. So I'm going to factor out the tangent of x. That leaves behind secant squared x minus tangent squared x. So I've taken one of the tangents from here and I brought it out front, and I've taken this tangent and brought it out front. If I multiply back like this, I end up getting this piece. So I know that I've done the factorization correctly. If you take a quick moment to check to see what this is equal to, if you look at your Pythagorean identities, you realize that that is just, it's equal to 1, right? And so 1 times tangent obviously is going to give me tangent x is equal to tangent of x, right? That's this part. I'm just going to bring that down in the end. Check. I definitely verified that the identity is in fact true, that that left side is equivalent to just tangent of x. And that's all you have to do. There are a few videos on each part where you can kind of watch through the different pieces and see how we've done some of these. The methods that you use to solve these kinds of equations are exactly the same as the ones we did on the Simplify worksheets. I hope this brought a little bit of clarity to what you're supposed to do. I'll see you guys in class next time.